What is going on, everyone? It's Super here and welcome to another Injustice 2 video. And what I have for you guys today is not only a Raiden gameplay breakdown from yesterday's trailer. Of course, if you guys missed that, link will be in the description along with my reaction video. I think it's pretty safe to say that when it came to reaction videos, when it got to Raiden Super, everyone went fucking crazy. Even if you don't want Raiden in the game or you didn't want Raiden in the game before this, his super is just the best ever. So definitely check those out if you guys missed it. But today, NetherRealm actually released the Black Lightning version of Raiden Super. So I'll play it for you guys right now. So there you guys have it. That is the different super for Black Lightning. It's really, it's very similar, of course, because they're not going to give him a brand new super because the premier characters are just supposed to be the same character, just that, with a new character like shader, pretty much like a fancy shader is what the guys at NetherRealm described it a while ago, and I kept, that name for the premier skins because it's what they are, they're fancy shaders, but it's still the same character underneath that premier skin. But I'm very, very happy that they gave him a different super, different super animations, because it wouldn't have made sense for Black Lightning to take his opponent to the Netherrealm, to the Sky Temple, and then have a Mortal Kombat logo or dragon, come from the moon. It would have been crazy. So I'm happy they did that. I think his looks nice as well. But like Raiden, the whole taking him to the Sky Temple and everything, it's just, oh my god, it's just ridiculous. But Black Lightning Super is still really cool as well. Gave him a different game ending animation, or they switched the dragon to a fist in the game ending animation. So let me know what you guys think about the Black Lightning version of Raiden Super. I think it looks awesome as well. So now let's move on to the Raiden breakdown. So I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. You guys know that I love to talk about these breakdowns and the gameplay and everything, so it's probably going to go over, a bit, but I'm going to keep it as brief as possible because Raiden looks like he plays very similar to his Mortal Kombat X version of himself, with all three variations incorporated, just like Sub-Zero did. But Raiden looks like he plays a little bit, I guess there's more differences in his gameplay than when I initially saw Sub-Zero. Like when we all saw Sub-Zero, we're like, that is MKX Sub-Zero without a doubt. Like literally everything about this character is MKX Sub-Zero. And there were definitely a lot of changes to, or minimal changes to Raiden that I definitely noticed. So let's start from the beginning. All right, so the first clip that we see here is him using his 112, which it looks like you can switch sides based on another clip. Of course, I'll put the clips over whenever, whatever part I'm talking about. But I think 112 was the, the sparkly hands combo for Thunder God Raiden, and it did a lot of chip, or it did less chip after they nerfed it. But on hit, you could actually turn it into a special move. You could do a special move, cancel it off the lightning hands, or you could switch sides with Raiden, which was one of the best things about Thunder God, because if you're in the corner and you get, some sort of combo with the lightning hands, you could actually switch sides and put your opponent in the corner, because you could finish it with the Superman charge and put them in the corner. Huge corner carry, and it looks like, it's gonna stay the same. So I don't know if he's gonna have a huge extension on his lightning hands the way he did in Mortal Kombat X. I don't think that's gonna be the case. He might have a little extension, but it's definitely not gonna go all crazy like it was in MKX. So moving on now, of course, the Superman, the flying Superman, the bobble, whatever you want to call it. I really hope, I couldn't tell from the trailer, but it doesn't sound like Raiden is going rah, rah, rah. It would be really cool if they add that, because that's just, the Raiden the Raiden Superman. It's always been that way. So I really hope that he does that when he comes out. So of course he does the Superman, and then he does the meter burn version, which actually teleports him behind the opponent, does a little bit extra damage, and that's about it. In Mortal Kombat X, if you ended that, it actually turned into a brutality, which was really cool. Let's see, where was I? Alright, so next up he shows off his teleport, which it looks like the teleport is going to be a trait, and I'm very happy about this because one of the reasons why I didn't like playing Raiden so much, especially in like Displacer and MKX, is because his teleport was a down up motion, and I hate with a passion down up motions. They just mess me up so much. I always mess up the input, especially when you could direct where you want to teleport, behind the opponent, in front of the opponent, if you want to go backwards. I hate it. So if this is his trait, if the teleport is actually his trait, that will make me very, very happy, because I will be able to use the trait with no problem. It's just going to be like, maybe you press the trait button forward to teleport behind them, trait button and back to go behind, or to go, further back, and then like maybe regular trait to teleport in front of them. So that would be really, really helpful for me personally when I play Raiden and Black Lightning. So moving on here, we see something that's really, really cool that I think a lot of people are happy about, which is the Master of Storms Orbs. Now, Master of Storms was by far the most interesting variation to play for Raiden in MKX. You have these two orbs, or actually you have one orb, you could shoot it out, and then you could throw out another orb behind Raiden or in front of Raiden, and when you have two on screen, depending on where those two orbs are, you get a stream of lightning that goes between the orbs, and it shocks your opponent if your opponent is sitting in the middle of those two orbs. Of course, if he's not blocking. If he's blocking, your opponent just blocks the attack, and that's it. And now if you meter burn it in MKX, you shoot out both orbs at the same time. So this allowed for, a little bit more combo potential. But the variation still sucked, because that's all it was. It was just the orbs. It didn't have any of the other things that the other variations had. That's how MKX variations work. So now that the orbs are returning in Injustice, he's going to have, all his basic tools, plus he's going to have the orbs. Now, the orbs are probably going to be a gear move. I don't see the orbs making it as a main, staple move for him. I really wish they did, because it looks like, they're pretty fast. It looks like they have some nice combo potential, but it doesn't look like they are going to be making it into his core moveset. So one thing I want to quickly go back, I just looked at my notes and I just remembered. So during the very first clip after Raiden does his 1-1-2, he cancels it into the lightning cage, which I think that's what it was called in MKX. It was like a shocking lightning cage where Raiden holds his hands up and he puts a cage around his body of electricity, and that was like one of his main sources of waking up in MKX. It had a armor, and it depends on if your opponent was like jumping, you could combo from it, but it looks like in Injustice they're actually making it a launcher, which is pretty cool. I think that's definitely going to be part of his core gameplay. So moving on here, we see Raiden using his forward 1-2, back 2, I think it is, the main string that was used in Displacer. I really don't remember the annotations too much for the Mortal Kombat X strings, because I didn't really use Raiden too much. But he does have the 2-2-3, which was like the I think it was mid-low. It was a good combo extender, especially in the corner, to convert into full combos and finish your combos with 2-2-3 into Shocker, which I'll talk about the Shocker a little bit later on. Let's see. Okay, so he still retains the same projectile that he had in Mortal Kombat X, and you could stop it at any point like you can with the orb for Dr. Fate, leaves for, you know, good zoning potential. You know, it depends on how fast this projectile is. It looks like it's not too fast, but it doesn't look slow either. So maybe if you throw the orb out there, you could get your zoning started, or you could try to anti-air your opponent, because if the opponent lands on the Raiden projectile, it actually shocks the opponent, so you get a full combo. So let's see, where are we at right here? All right, we're coming down to the final clips here. So he has an aerial teleport. Now, this could go either way. This could be something that they add for him, something a little bit extra, like they did with the Air Ice clone. Of course, the Air Ice clone is something that Sub-Zero has had for, you know, many Mortal Kombat games. But I'm wondering if they're gonna give Raiden that little extra, I guess, mobility with the aerial teleport. Now, there's many characters that have teleports similar to this teleport, but they are all gear moves. Like, for example, Green Arrow has one of his gear abilities that's like an arrow where he shoots down, and it's like a teleport arrow where he teleports on the other side, and then he could do a move afterwards. So I don't know if this is going to be a core gameplay for him, or it's going to be a gear move. But regardless, it looks really cool. And it looks like it recovers very slowly, though. It looks like this one is a lot more punishable, and you have less options than the regular teleport. So moving on here to this last couple of clips. Okay, so here we see, oh, I think did I forget? Oh, no, okay, here we go. It's one of the last ones here. I want to make sure I talk about that lightning cage that Black Lightning does. So we see Raiden do his back two string into the low, into the shocker. No surprise there, you know, MKX string, and of course the shocker is back. There's no meter burn shocker that we saw here, but maybe the meter burn version will allow you to follow up for a combo like it did in MKX. Gonna have to wait and see. I wonder if the regular one is gonna be safe on block like the one in MKX. Gonna have to wait and see about that one. So here we go. This is definitely one of the most interesting moves and one of the best looking moves that I've seen in Injustice so far. We have Black Lightning, you know, doing his thing, and then he summons this lightning cage around the opponent, and then the four corners of the lightning cage actually send out a, you know, sort of little, I guess I'm just gonna call them bolts from four corners, and it shocks the opponent, and it looks awesome. It looks really cool. So that is 100% gear ability, but you guys know I do play with gear for videos a lot. So Raiden and Black Lightning look like they're gonna have a lot of interesting gear abilities. So definitely expect some you know, videos using those gear abilities. And of course, the final clip here is we see Raiden throw his projectile, and then he actually teleports behind the opponent, so the opponent had to block the opposite way of the projectile in order to not get hit. Now, one of the good things about Raiden being in, and of course Black Lightning being in Injustice 2, is that with his teleport, the fact that you can teleport behind your opponent, it's actually going to leave a really good you know, setup potential, because in MKX or in Mortal Kombat, all you have to do is hold the block button and it blocks every single direction. But in Injustice, you actually hold back to block, so that means that a lot of setup potential that Raiden didn't have in MKX, he now has in a game like Injustice, where he could teleport behind the opponent while something's coming towards the opponent, and you know, depending on what hits first, you know, the opponent has to block accordingly. So there's going to be some interesting setups with like maybe hard knockdowns and, you know, different things for Raiden with his teleport. So looking forward to explore that. Like I said, I was not a big fan of Raiden in MKX. Still not, you know, just because he's in Injustice doesn't mean I'm going to love playing Raiden. But I will hop on MKX one of these days and sort of remind myself how to play Raiden a little bit. But I'm definitely looking forward to see this new character, because even though a lot of people wanted Raiden, a lot of people didn't. He is a new character, he's a DLC character, and of course I'm going to give him the same amount of time as the other DLC characters, along with the Black Lightning Premier skin. So that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about Raiden's gameplay, and I will see you guys next time.
What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys subscribed if you are not already. Also, check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.